All right, man. What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing, man? Y'all already running it up on X, man. I already see it right now. Already at 50 plus
Good
views,
stuff.
man. So much love to all of y'all, man. Running it up on Bacon's as well, man. He reaching close to 20. So we appreciate all the love and support,
Yeah,
man. Another jam-packed episode. Everybody's busy, so we're gonna do it tonight. I think we're gonna talk a little bit of hoops at the end as well.
3 hours
Just
a
been
day.
super busy. Yeah, a full day. Yeah, exactly, bro. A full day, man. So it's gonna be a lot of fun with my guy Bacon. Before we get into it, Bacon, how you feeling tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We family's facing a little tragedy, man. Grandpa's passed away unexpectedly last Thursday. But just a message to everybody, man. Life ain't gonna always go how you think or how you want it to go, man. But as long as you got a dream and a will to win, and you putting in from within, you're gonna get it all in the end. So just keep going, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, man. I see y'all already liking and retweeting, so I appreciate that, man. Comment below if I should do more lives on my X account. Y'all let me know. I usually just do my YouTube and
Yes, you
my
should.
Twitch, but y'all let me know in the comments, man. We got some big news too, some stuff that's dropping tomorrow. But Bacon, it's the
Yep.
quarterfinal round, man. So I'm gonna have you pull it up on your end, whatever you can find it, whether that's GHSA or Score, wherever you can find it. Just some of these quarterfinal matchups you want to kind of get into. We're gonna kind of hit that, y'all. We're gonna talk about Tech, obviously, clean old fashioned hate. Talk a little bit
Clean.
about that matchup with them against Georgia. It should be a pretty good one. And shout out to my guy Roddy Nablusi from UGAsports.com. Looks like he said they could see upwards of 40 guys hitting that transfer portal. So that is huge there, man. Georgia's not playing around, and they are actually trending right now to land Hezekiah Melinder, who was formerly committed to Boise State. He plays for Clark Central. They lost in the first round to Houston County. So a lot to watch for there. A lot going on with UGA, a lot going on with Georgia Tech and co. But how's it looking on your end, Bacon?
I am sharing my screen as we speak.
All right, my brother. I'm going to go ahead and add you in.
All right, man. So some big matchups. Obviously, the Collins Hill, Grayson. I think, man, come on. I hope Grayson doesn't lose Collins Hill again. Respectfully, I know Collins Hill has some good things going on. Douglas County, West Forsyth. That's more of your expertise in the Forsyth area, the North Georgia area. Carrollton, Hillgrove, people might hype that up, but Carrollton and Hillgrove have been in the same region aside from this for the past 3 or 4 years. It's always been built to ass. Though I know Hillgrove has been doing some things to beat Peachtree Ridge. Peachtree Ridge they got some guys over there, man, especially Darnell Kelly. But they don't really have the weapons necessarily. The offensive line was smaller this year than it was for years in the past. So I think that's Carrollton's game to lose. But I think the most interesting one is North Gwinnett versus Buford, man. And I know you got the scoop about North Gwinnett. You know what I'm saying? Coach's son, man. Can they get it done at Buford? I don't know, man. But we'll start with man. Let's start with Collins Hill Grayson, man. Let me
You know
hear
what
you.
though? Yeah, I know you want to hear my thought. I'm actually shocked this game was not on TV. I mean, you got the rematch. One of the only teams I believe in Georgia that's beat Grayson this year, if I'm not mistaken. Might be another team, but Grayson's having a phenomenal year, and everybody was like, "Whoa, is Grayson not that good?" Like Grayson had kind of that slow start, and then started to come on. But Collins Hill's a good team, man. They went down there and cold quit and held them to 14 points. Deshaun Brown's having a good year running the football. That defensive front is something for real, and Coach Swig is doing an outstanding job. One of the best young head coaches I think in the state of Georgia, or what he's doing. Deuce Gerald's the 4-star, Cottrell Webb the 4-star. Now it's his top 12. Got Tech in there. He's been phenomenal. And then I like the decision of their quarterback, Makari Cross. He's having a really good year. I feel like he's getting better and better, man, as the year progresses. They can run the ball. They use Deuce Gerald's and sub packages and things like that. So that's been very successful for them and what they've been able to do this year. Really good linebacker in Javion Hatch. And they got a guy at safety that's next up Bacon. Nobody knows about him. But Jeremiah Proctor. If you know Collins Hill football and you plugged in with that program, he's the next guy up in 2026 class. Is going to be one to watch. But for Grayson, it's a revenge game. And you likely got waiting for you Douglas County in the next round. So that's going to be another electric semifinal matchup, I think, potentially as well. But Grayson has a great overall team. Andre Fuller, Tyler Atkinson, Anthony Davis, two of the best linebackers in the country, in my humble opinion. Their safeties are coming along. Riley Hughes had a breakout year. They can run the ball with Joel Bradford. They got a lot of guys that plays really well. No one ever talks about the receiving core, but Jonathan Stafford, Alexander Sanchez, Aiden Taylor. They got guys all over the field. So should be another really intriguing matchup between two really good opponents. Surprised it was not on TV, but I think an elite quarterfinals matchup no one's talking about.
Not for sure, man. I mean, I think Langston and Thomas County is going to be a good game. We don't get to see a lot of Thomas County.
I disagree. You're right.
Big. But yeah, I definitely. Though I would say that I mean, I may rather want to see North Gwinnett versus Buford, man. Another team that has really been showcased. A lot of it's like a team that's just like the little airheads, like the little silver pack. It's like you don't know what flavor is going to be. You open, this is blueberry. There's been a lot of talk about North Gwinnett. We really haven't We really haven't seen them, especially if you didn't go to the Day of Hunter Classic that's hosted every year in the Dome or wherever it's being held at. And Buford, they always talk about Buford. It's just a team that they can only run the ball. Whoop.
Not true.
With Justin Baker, but they got yesterday's Tech Flip, who's very talented. So who caught a very very exquisite catch in the back of the end zone against Douglas County, as you alluded to yesterday. What's up?
Who's the newest Georgia Tech commit? We got Georgia Tech fans watching.
We got Georgia Tech fans watching. I just gave them. Huh? Say it in my ear real quiet so they don't hear. Jordan Allen. Jordan Allen for Buford. He's electric. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's a human joystick, man. He's gonna get up and down that field. If I could sum up, he's got a little. I think Malik Rutherford is a very good player comp.
That's a great player comp.
More speed, kind of maybe considerable to Singleton. He's a speedy receiver, but very shifted, just like Malik. So I think that's a good tweener between those two. But like I said, very electric. But can North Gwinnett, they're a smaller defense, right? Can they withstand against Buford's big, powerful offensive line? That's going to be the question for me. But I think, not to get off topic, because I know we really weren't trying to go here, but I think this is Buford's game to lose.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. Buford has a really good football program. I like what Coach Applin is doing. I talked to him earlier today on Georgia High School Sports Daily, and I was impressed with a lot of his answers. Really good front, really good group. And it's just a Buford standard that's different. Like, every guy that goes in there knows their role and knows what they have to do, and you have to buy in to that Buford way if you're going to play for him. And I think we see that. Like, Tyler Green was supposed to be the dynamic back coming in, but he's playing free safety, which he's obviously natural at. He has 5 interceptions this year. So they got a really good group. Another guy that's kind of unnoticed a little bit, has not been talked about a lot, is Jaden Parlati. He's having another really good year as well. But I feel like Buford has a really good overall team, and I feel like they can make the plays, and they got talent over the field. But I like North Gwinnett is actually my pick in 6A. And it's not going to be easy. You got to get through Buford, and you'll have to get through probably Carrollton in the next round. But I like North Gwinnett on all 3 levels. I think they have one of the better front sevens in the state. We look at Braxton Kyle, Cole Funderburg, Jake Godfrey. Their safeties, Malachi Whedon had 2 interceptions versus Newton, Chandler Jordan. And the reason why I like their defense, Bacon, they held Zion Johnson, who's electric from Newton, to just they held him to 10 points. And he didn't get over a 20-yard run in that game when I talked to the coach. So that makes a big difference when you can hold guys down and you can kind of stop that run. And that's probably what they're going to look to do in this one and try to make Rayola a passer. Not saying he can't. The Nebraska commit is having a phenomenal year, but that'll probably be their game plan going in. But I think they have a phenomenal team, man. And offensively, Tommy Lafayette, he can throw people down. He can run the rock. And then they got the weapons on the outside. No one talks about Eric Ronning, Nicholas Bookman, and they got a good dual threat quarterback. So this team is more complete than people think. And I think it's going to be a great matchup between 2 really stellar Gwinnett County opponents.
Nah, that's true. That's true. They do. North Gwinnett defense fires around to the ball, but I have to lean to the side of what I feel my gut says, and also the other experts out there that has Buford ranked in the top 25 every year. Even though they may lose big games, they're always in the top 25, right? But brother, we need to address the elephant in the room, man. You always picking against Carrollton, brother. If there's some beef, we need to air it out, man. We need to be transparent and open to our fans and our supporters just as much as they would like us to be.
So if anybody knows me by now, in my 2 years, I love upsets. So like sometimes that hurts me because sometimes I go at I always say emotional effect, but I like to see a good team get knocked off. But then the other side of it is I'll actually like analyze the game and be like, okay, what chances do they have to really upset this team? So I just love a good upset. I feel like Valdosta was going to be that for this year. I called one 2 years ago when Vaughn upset Buford. Everyone looked at me crazy,
Yeah.
but when I like studied the game and looked at it, it just felt like Walt could go in there and win. But nah, I mean, there's no beef. I mean, all love to Carrollton. I'm just not like everybody else. I just like to give shine to everybody. That's all. And I love a good upset. But much respect to Carrollton. They got dogs all over the field. Dorian Barney, Zealous Hicks, who just reclassified to 2025. Kamari Farmer, who I love. That's probably one of my favorite running backs in the game right now.
Yeah.
Messiah Satterwhite is having a pretty good year as well. That's backing him up. They also got Ryan Mosley, 4-star. I really like his talent and how he can do. AJ McNeil is starting to come on for them, and he's been really having an electric year. And then defensively, CJ Gamble, he's another one that no one talks about. 2026 linebacker is having another strong season. So no beef with anything with Carrollton. Just like to show everybody love.
But now, I would like to also shout out Kalai Fielder, excuse me, one of the top 2028 linebackers. I mean, not linebackers, offensive lineman. The kid's massive, 6'4", 315 pounds, a sophomore. Already put out his first 5. Ole Miss, the Gators, Syracuse. I like that ACC program, by the way. Even though I support Tech, I like what coaches got going on up there in New York, Florida State, and Mississippi State. But before we move on to the last game, we want to talk about Carrollton and here go more in depth. The brother bet me $20 last week. He said, Bacon, I got a feeling that I was going to be Carrollton. I said, brother, you lying. Then he told me, I think the receiver's going to do it. I said, son, that's a lowest secondary. I said, brother, if Carrollton beat them more than 20 points, keep your money. And we know what happened. But segueing on. Douglas County versus West Forsyth, brother. I'm sure you know. Like I said, you know more about the Forsyth teams than I do. So I think this is Douglas' game to lose. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, West Forsyth's a gritty team. I like what they're doing. They can run the ball with Foster Oris. Maxwell Ravens having a really good year. They have some pretty good receivers as well. Defense is very sound. James McCullough is one of the better, more underrated linebackers we have in the state. I just think that this one is just a talent gap. No disrespect to West Forsyth. They have a phenomenal program. It's just Douglas County. I mean, trying to stop those guys for 4 quarters of Marcus Lindley, keeping tame with obviously Aaron Gregory, Devin Carter, how good that front is. That's just a lot to ask through 4 quarters. So West Forsyth is a great team. I just think this is not the best matchup in the quarterfinal round for them.
Most definitely, man. Definitely gonna be one to kind of watch, see what happens. But this definitely should go to Douglas County. We're gonna switch over to 5A. 5A, we got Coffee Sequoia. Coffee won it last year, I believe, with a big running back. Thomas County Central versus Hughes, which will be aired on WBTV. No, excuse me, GPB, excuse me. Sprayberry versus Lee County. Impressive comeback win against Noonan last week. My hometown team was down 7-0 to start and just touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. Scored 5 unanswered touchdowns to win the game. And last but not least, Milton versus Houston County, which to me, aside from Thomas County versus Lansing Hughes, is the most entertaining matchup. So we'll definitely start with a banger. Milton versus Houston County, brother. What do you think? You think AJ's got a chance to win?
I mean, whenever you got that guy as your quarterback, you have a chance in any game. I mean, just got to be 100% honest. Now, Milton is one of the best teams in the country. They're number 2 overall. Max Preps, I think, ESPN. So they have a good group, good offensive line, which was kind of an area you looked at. Oh, okay, this could be a weakness for them, but it's looked great all year. So credit to their big guys, Braden Jacobs, some of the offensive linemen having a great year. TJ Lester, underrated running back from Milton. He's having a phenomenal year. No one's talking about enough. What he's been able to do, 1,000 yards rushing, I think close to 20 touchdowns. He's been phenomenal. And then obviously on the outside, Ethan Barbour, Tristan Payne, and CJ Wiley, all 3 elite receivers in my humble opinion.
Yes.
And then defensively, one of the best linebacking corps no one talks about, right? Hayden Tumania and AJ Benton, right? And then they get after it with their corners, Tyler Redmond and obviously Dylan Lewis, and then they have Mekhi Jones on the back end. So it's going to be an interesting chess match to see if Antoine Hill can make those. Not that he can't, he definitely can make big throws, but how open can those receivers get? Like Isaiah Mitchell's having another great year as well, 1,600 yards receiving. But besides him, who else can win on the outside? What if they do double coverage to his side? What if they, kind of zone him up? What's the answer? And obviously they can run the ball too. But that's going to be kind of the chess match. How much success can they have against their DBs and corners?
That's true. Just to give y'all an update, TJ Lester has 1,100 all-purpose yards, 1,037 rushing yards on 148 carries, 16 total touchdowns, 71 receiving yards, 4 through the air, and like I said, 17 complete touchdowns. Definitely a running back who needs some more love. So if y'all know anybody, any college coaches that's well connected in this business, man, definitely go hit coach up, man. TJ Lester is somebody that needs some more shine. So what's your score prediction, brother?
I'm gonna go Milton. Milton wins 38-24.
38-24, respectable. I'll go 38-27. I'll give him a field goal. Next primetime matchup, Langston Hughes versus Thomas Cope.
Yeah, that one. I mean, Thomas kind of got one of the best offenses in the state. I mean, they're averaging a lot of points. Same with Lee County down there against Sprayberry. They lead the playoffs right now. Lee County does with, I think, 54.3 points per game. But I mean, if you're not careful, Thomas County Central will put it on you. But they're not. I don't think they face the defense yet like Hughes and what they can do in affecting the passer. With Kanan Edwards, obviously, Quavion Pitts. Their linebackers are really good. Safeties is headhunters. Like, it's a really good team. And then offensively, Hughes can strike, right? Like, they put points on the board. Like, they got so many guys. Got Maurice Gleaton, who just recently committed to Georgia for track and field. He's on the football field. Carson Baker's on the football field. They got a lot of guys that can get the ball to. Krishawn Sellers, and then it's coached by Coach Brown, like Coach Stephen Brown. Like, he does a great job, and you can see kind of the difference in how good these guys are. Jabari Jones is another one. He also just gets the ball out in space and is dangerous. Had 2 rushing touchdowns in their win last week over Roswell. Like, they got a lot of weapons too, so it's going to be intriguing. It could be a shootout.
It could be a shootout. That's true. If I feel like if which I don't think, but if Hughes can get that running game, that can be the catalyst going early. That can really help their play action pass. I think it's going to be a chance for Hughes. Yeah, Thomas County's the higher seed. Hughes upset. But man, it's going to depend on the quarterback, man. He's played well. I'm not saying he hasn't played well this year, but when it comes to those close down the field throws, those are kind of questionable. So, but for me, it's tough not to go with Coach Boone, man. So I'm gonna roll with Langston here in the upset, man. The people may call me crazy. I'm gonna take the Poets, Langston Hughes Poets. You said you're taking the County Central, right?
Hughes is my title pick. So no,
that's right.
With Hughes. Right. Hughes is my title pick in 5A. So I believe in Coach Boone in that program. And they got a phenomenal coach, Coach LeVar Sims. I don't know if he's watching. I believe in that coaching staff. Now, Thomas County Central with Coach Justin Rogers, they're nothing to sneeze at either. They got another good group. Jalen Johnson is going to be one to continue to watch for their program at quarterback. Young guy, but slinging that football. They got a really good safety out there, really good edge rusher. So it's not going to be easy, but this is a good matchup. I think them Hughes boys is ready. Like I said, I went to their spring practice. One thing them boys going to do, them boys going to hit. You know what I'm saying? So you better make sure you bring your lunch pail and be ready. But I'm going with the Hughes.
Most definitely. Sprayberry versus Lee County.
I'll be quick on that one. I'm going with Lee. With much respect to Sprayberry and what they can do, making history in their program. I think making quarterfinals first time since 1982. Jordan Edmonds, Mark Manfred, Jaden Duckett all having phenomenal years. The two I mentioned, Manfred and Edmonds, they're both 4 stars. Great job this year, especially winning the region title with your quarterback being suspended for a game. But Lee County, look, no one's talking about it, but that kid, that Weston Bryan, that Georgia Southern commit, is having a phenomenal year this year. He had 7 touchdowns and they win. Everybody think it's the Usman Kroma show. No, it ain't that. He only had 2 touchdowns last week. They can throw the rock, and he's spreading the ball around. That makes them dangerous, and that defense is good with Lasai Jackson and many others that no one talks about with Lee County. Got Lee County by a landslide.
All right, and to round out this 5A segment, Coffee or Sequoia?
Now, this is an intriguing one. You definitely got to study a little bit if you're going to know a lot about Sequoia and obviously Coffee. Coffee likes to run the ball with Tyrese will get. He's having a good year, over 1,000 yards rushing this year. He's been phenomenal. And then you look at Sequoia, what can they do? Same thing. Will Rejecki just picked up a Georgia Southern offer. He runs the rock. He's having his best season as a pro. So he's the one to kind of continue to watch in that one. But Sequoia will be at home. Question is, which defense can stop the other from running the ball? Like, that's one of the key kind of things in this game. Which defense is going to have the most success, or will it be a shootout with teams going back and forth? And which team can limit the other possessions and capitalize when they get the ball? We're going to find out.
We're going to find out Friday sharp, 7:30, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to transition to foray. Little glitch right there. Am I wilding, brother? Oh, I'm sorry, I am wilding. All right, 4A. Let's see. We got East Side versus Creekside. That is Creekside.
It's a heck of a matchup. East Side, Creekside.
Let's start there. Go ahead.
Yeah, brother. So Jaden Barr having a good year. I don't know if you know he's a tech commit as well. We'll be playing safety. We'll be interested to see kind of his playing time as well with Georgia Tech going forward next year. But another electric guy had like 6-7 touchdowns, I think, in that game. They barely lost to North Oconee. But this team can play, man. They got a really good defense. Christian Gase, who's a Tennessee commit, has been having a good year. Leads them in tackles so far. So it's going to be interesting. I think you got physical against physical, right? Creekside, same thing. They're no different than Langston Hughes. That team wants to be physical. They want to come at you. And Caden Benson is a Region 4, 4A player of the year. So he's gotten better. He's throwing the ball. They still got Dylan Vickerson, who's a Western Kentucky commit recently. So got to watch out for him. You probably want to double him. And Creekside got a lot of speed, man. When anything that Creekside has, they got speed. They can run the ball traditionally, and they get after you with rushing the passer, man. So which team can make the stops? Eastside has a lot of athletes. Creekside got the speed.
No, 100%. Eastside, they beat Perry 21-10. I believe you brought up Dylan Vickerson, Creekside. That's definitely going to be a matchup to watch. That connection between Benson and him is going to be definitely going to be a tandem to watch. And also a funny story. I went to a Western Kentucky flag football trip. Very cold, probably the coldest weather I've ever been in, man. So the mountains up there are no joke. But I want to move on to an interesting matchup. You got Marist, the team of the triple option, versus Cambridge. That's a lot of hidden gems on Cambridge. So, Mr. Wilkins, what's your thoughts?
Hey, man, you got Batman and Robin, as I like to call them, man. One of the most underrated receiving cores, man, in the state. No one talks about them. I think they both going to blow up. Craig Dandridge is starting to kind of blow up a little bit. Gotten 2 offers, Northern Alabama and Georgia State, I believe it was recently. I think Hudson Cochera is next in line, right? He's going to try to get that speed down to a 4.4, runs a 4.6 now. Watch the hell out. Once he hits that, I think he's going to blow up 100%. He's a guy that can get in and out of the slot, the cuts, can run any route in the route tree. And you look at Craig Dandridge, he can get down the field, man, make big time catches over the middle. He can be a red zone threat, and then they can run the rock, man. Tyler Blaylock's having a good year, had 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing in a recent win. He's been electric this year. Weston Taylor, no one's talking about, is having a phenomenal year. And I'll say, like my boy Craig said, they could be a sleeping giant over the next few seasons. They got an offensive guru at the helm. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know against Marist. Again, what Cambridge's offense is not the problem. I'm worried about the defense in this one, right? Obviously against Cedartown, big win for them. That was electric, but the defense gave up 44 points. All right. Big win against Central Carrollton. Credit to them. That's another electric offense, helped them to 22 points. So shout out to the defense there. But Marist, it's only one thing Marist going to do. With Coach Alan Chadwick, they're going to run that rock. They're going to take your possessions away, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to bleed the clock pretty much, you know what I'm saying? They're going to run it and be more physical than you. That is Marist football. That's what it's been under Coach Chadwick, and they're going to run that triple option, and you're going to have to find a way to stop it, and you're going to have to be eye-disciplined. The good thing for Cambridge is that they've seen that already this year when they played Cedartown in the first round. So it's a similar type offense, but kind of run schematically a little bit different. We will see. I put my money on Marist, but I think that offense will still pop off.
Yeah, I agree. I got Marist. I got them going all the way to the championship game, losing against Cartersville. But speaking of Cartersville, they got your boys, North Oconee. I know you like the quarterback there. I like Cartersville. I like Elijah Peaks and the rest of the bunch. But let me hear your thoughts.
Man, this is another game. Like, how is this not on TV? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like that's another game I looked at. Like, how did that not get considered? Now I know, obviously, Athens. I get it. It's gonna be crazy, especially with Georgia Tech playing Georgia, which we're gonna talk about here in a little bit for all the Tech fans watching. I get it, but bro, at the same time, it's like, yo, one side you got Norfolk Coney, you got Kamari Brooks, who's blowing up. You got Harrison Faulkner, who I think is the most underrated quarterback in the state. You know what I'm saying? What he can do. He's having a great year. Landon Roldan, who's a Georgia commit, is having a phenomenal year. They can run the ball. Defensively, they're very stout. You know what I'm saying? They can get after you. Then you look at Cartersville, Jamari Bryce, Brady Marchese, who's made a name for himself here in the state. They can run the ball with the two running backs who's having a great years. They got like a 3 running back system at Cartersville, right? And then defensively, Jordan Woods, who just flipped from Cincinnati to Ohio State. One of the more physical corners in the game right now. Great cover, elite corner. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, this matchup, like, hey, if I wasn't at Tech on Friday, hey, you sign me up and pop my feet up, get my popcorn, man. I'm gonna watch this one because like that is one I would want to see, bro. Like that's how electric that matchup's gonna be.
Nah, facts. Feet up, little space heater.
Low space heater, we chilling,
Goes by
we nibbling. You know what I'm saying?
every time. Every time.
Yes, sir.
And then to round it out, Blessed Trinity. Hold on, I can't see that small print. Let me go back to my screen. Blessed Trinity versus Benedictine. Benedictine, I feel like is maybe the most underrated. Other than Marist, because some people may not believe in triple option, but I think Benedictine is one of the most underrated teams in this bracket. That's formidable, of course.
Yeah, 100%. Let me shout out the Borough boys as well, man. Can you believe that they held BT to 22 points? Now, look, when we look at 22, you black. Naj, you know, if you Bacon, you like, Naj, that's a lot of points. Bacon, they kicked 5 field goals. 5.
What?
They had 1 touchdown all game. So that tells me a lot about that Jonesboro team. It just was an unfortunate matchup in the second round. But man, I mean, that's how you play some defense right there. I mean, like you literally not letting them into the end zone. So I want to shout out the Borough boys first and foremost. But to your point, Benedictine is very underrated, right? Good team. Got Bubba Frazier on the outside to get the ball to, who's an electric playmaker. They use him a little bit in the running game as well. The quarterback is coming on. Coach Britt does a good job. And the defensively, they got the leading sack getter right now. Herbert Scroggins, the Miami commit, 19 sacks this year. So my key is, can they force Brooks Goodman into some mistakes? Can they slow down Amonte Pitts, who's having a great season, and not let him go off for 100 yards? That's going to be the key. And then offensively, get the ball to Bubba Frazier. Let him cook.
So you're rolling with Benedictine?
No, I still go with BT. That's just the formula to win. You know what I'm saying? But I got to go. BT's one of the best teams in the state. Like, they not getting that national recognition, but that's just what they are. They got Milton all the way. I think they beat Milton or lost to Milton by a touchdown or might have been 2 scores, but they was in it the whole time. No, BT's one of the best teams in the state.
All right.
Who you going with?
I'm gonna roll Benedictine, man. I'm gonna roll Benedictine, Creekside, Marist, and DeVille, man. Home of Trevor Lawrence. And before we go, man, I definitely want to shout out Coach Floyd, Coach Carmichael, and the Jonesboro Cardinals, man, for holding strong and doing it big for the South Side, man. You know, so a lot of talent on the South Side. We just ain't got good food, good flavor, and good music and good sauce. We also got athletes and the academics to back it up. So definitely, coaches, definitely tap into the young men and the coaches on the South Side. But with that being said, we will move on to 3A, man. Them young men in Fayetteville, they let me down and lost at the Grange, man. Last week, talking about Sandy Creek, if you don't know, I was talking to one of the coaches, man. This was a tough year, man. Defense, a lot of head down, a lot of gagging in practice. There was a lot of, we got this. We beat them the first time last year. But what the players underestimated is Coach Napier. You know what I'm saying? They gonna keep a good bunch of guys who's gonna listen, who's gonna run in unison to the ball, play their gap scheme, real discipline, and they're just gonna travel and play hard-nosed football. And that's what the Grange did, and they upset those boys. So they're moving on. So brother, starting out with LaGrange versus North Hall. I don't know too much about North Hall. I've been hearing little whispers every now and again, but I'm hearing they're a talented group. So what's your insight?
Yeah, they got I think it was a game winner last week. Smith McGarvey had threw one right before time expired. Nearly was picked, but he was able to kind of loft it right over the defending corner's shoulders, and it was a touchdown. So shout out to them, man. Pretty good team. Quarterback starting to come on and make more noise. It will be tough, man, because you got to have an answer for Malachi Renderfan. He won Georgia High School Football Daily Player of the Week. Ran for, I think, over 200 yards in that game. So they're going to feed him. That's kind of their formula right now. Feed him the rock and let him cook. So North Hall defensively has to have an answer for that. Offensively, they could definitely make plays. But defensively, can you slow down Renderfan is the question.
So you're going with North Hall. North Hall.
I'm going with LaGrange.
Going with LaGrange. Excuse me.
Yes.
All right. Now we're going to move on to Jefferson versus Cherokee Bluff. I know I've liked Jefferson all year. I think they're a talented bunch, but I do not know much about Cherokee Bluff.
They have one of their best seasons. They made the quarterfinals for the first time in their history last week. After they defeated their opponent, Luella. So shout out to them. They played earlier. They're in the same region, actually, and Jefferson beat them pretty good last time. But as you know, it's tough to beat a team twice. Jefferson felt that. They lost to Oconee County earlier this year, and they went back and, as you can see, beat them in the playoffs. So it will be tough for Jefferson, but I think they got one of the better teams. You look at Gavin Markey and what he can do on the gridiron. He leads them in rushing. He throws the ball well. They got Red Hemp Hill's having a good year defensively. They got Max Brown, who's the brother of Sammy, who's having a great season as well. I think Jefferson just has a little bit too much. Cherokee Bluff's been great this year. Just the level of competition I've been a little bit about, what I'm saying, with them. But I think they meet their match when they play Jefferson again.
All right, Stevenson down the bottom right. Stevenson or Southeast Bullock. That's Bullock County. That sounds like South Georgia.
Yeah, that's probably like one of the rare teams. You probably didn't think they would go this far. For Southeast Bullock, probably one of the more surprising teams in this one. But hey, give them credit. Give credit for what they've been able to do this year, man, and being able to control the games. But I'm going with Stevenson, man. What Coach Rock is doing, that defensive front with KJ Green. They got a couple of dogs down there that nobody talks about. I think they make a nice run. I think they beat Southeast Bullock and make it to the semis. And they'll play the winner of Peach and Calhoun, which will be tough. But I think they will come out on top.
Most definitely. Some of those guys you're definitely inquiring about is Sergio Mason, big defensive tackle, 6'2", 260. Then you got Amari Green, 2026. Both of 2026, by the way, 6'4", 195 defensive ends. Are definitely some names you want to know about. That's definitely going to be making some plays this upcoming Friday. They're at the bottom of the bracket is at home, right? Home field advantage, correct? I believe so.
I think it's I think bottom, yep.
So they got a long road trip down there to Savannah. So hopefully Coach will have, I know they had those young men ready, but that long bus drive could definitely do something to those legs. Hope they got the guns and the rollers ready. But we're going to segue on to Peach County versus Calhoun. Big time matchup. We know Calhoun is known for their big time football historically. And Peach County has made a lot of buzz this season.
Yeah, Peach County is really good. They got DJ Hudson that a lot of people don't talk about. Very underrated quarterback. He's the reason why they're so good. Marquise Westbrook, who was formerly of Warner Robins, made the state championship game like 5 years in a row when he was there. They got one of the better coaching staffs in the state. I think no one talks about. And they're having a good year, man. I think Peach County is on a collision course to get the state championship. Calhoun got that true freshman that's really good, Trace Hawkins, who's continuing to get better and better and better. But I think it's going to be tough, man. Now, Calhoun's played a tough schedule, but I think Peach County is going to have a little too much for them.
But they lost narrowly to Cartersville. So it was a big matchup every year.
100%.
All right. 2A. Right. Do you want to do all classifications?
It's up to you. I was just trying to get top ones. We can. It's up to you.
We'll after this we'll go to private and then we'll segue on. Rockmart versus Morgan County. Morgan County beat Sumter County 36-30. Very narrow victory. Morgan County, where are you at? Well, Morgan County is in there. No. Morgan County beat Sumter and Rockmart beat Westside 37-30. So close victories. 1 point differential in between two games. I like Rockmart here, but what do you think?
Yeah, Rockmart has a good team. Morgan County, they got a receiver that's really good, man. I think his name is Jaden Elder, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be really interesting because Rockmart's another team that plays really stellar competition early in the year, man. I don't know. That one for me is a toss-up. Two really elite teams. One that can run the heck out of the ball. One that's more of a passing team in Morgan County. I don't know. That's a tough one, man. I'm going to say toss-up for me.
Okay.
Two really good teams.
So we're going neutral there.
Yeah, I'm going neutral.
Let's go. Let's go Stevens County. Stevens County versus Paulding County. Stevens County, they're around the big dance last year, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they got around close to this level. I think they lost second round. They got Javin Gordon, who's having another good year. Got really good defensive front. One of the better ones. Appleton County has Duke Johnson having another good year. Beat Carver, but a team that likes to run the ball. A team that can, pretty much throttle you down, man. If your front's not good enough, you're gonna get exposed. And they pretty much lean on him a lot. I think he had close to 20 touchdowns this year. And then defensively, same kind of thing, man. They like to come downhill, bring blitzes, bring pressures, and kind of fluster your quarterback, man. So Stevens County, I mean, if you then try to limit possessions, run the ball with Javin, and then when it's there, take your shots.
All right. Going down to the south side, Carver Columbus versus Pierce County.
That is the best matchup in 2A.
That's the best matchup.
The best. Another one, I know people don't want to drive down to Columbus, but Carver got a squad, yo. They got Tristan Givens. They got Matthew Mungin, KJ Miles. Like, that team is good. I hope for them they're able to get past. Pierce County won it all last year. I don't know if you remember Bacon. I think it went to like a 3 overtime game and ended up winning. So that team is battle tested. Caden McGath is having another good year. Hopefully his recruiting is doing well. They're going to run the ball with him. You know what I'm saying? They're going to slow the game down, man. But two really good teams, man, and one of the best matchups I think we have this upcoming week.
Nah, definitely. See, the last time Carver went to state, it was when Elijah Pritchard was there a couple years back. Had a spectacular game against Cedartown, went down to the wire. I think it won going for 2. I can't remember the name of the quarterback's name, but he ran behind offensive tackles now at Alabama, Elijah Pritchard, and it was just my first ever big time high school football game when I first started covering it. And man, just the culture down there is different, man. I just it's hard not to like Carver Columbus, no matter who you are. Like I said, so I'm seconding your emotion and going with Carver Columbus. And for the last game of 2A, Thompson versus Burke County.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Burke County in that one, Bacon. Another team that's very battle tested. They played stellar competition, 11-1 this year, having a phenomenal year. Like, they've played Benedictine. They lost that one, unfortunately, pretty good. But Northside Warren Robins, Warren County. You know what I'm saying? They played Thompson this year and beat them earlier in their region. So this is a region kind of rematch. Beat them 47-35 this year. Amir Williams is the name to know there, Bacon. 1,449 yards rushing and 27 touchdowns. He's been great this year. So they're going to have an answer for him. And then they could throw it too. Vandiver is having a good year, 16 touchdowns, 1,600 yards passing. But I'm going to lean to Burke County.
All right. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. If you want us to go back and get 1A and A and AA, and let us know in the comments. I think we got about 400 people watching this right now, so definitely hit us up. But we're going to segue and move on to Class A private ball. And we're going to start with Savannah Christian versus North Cobb. I think I know who you like. I think you're going to roll with Savannah Christian, but I think you're going to make a formidable case for North Cobb Christian.
You must know me well, brother. What I will say is, man, if Teddy mess around and they go in there and they beat Savannah Christian, he might end up one of the hottest recruits in the darn country. He's already hot now, but you talk about sophomore beating an elite opponent that can run the ball with Zoe Smalls, and they got two of the best guys, like Damian Guyton, and they got Elijah Griffin.
Right.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, them type of games, that's where you make a name for yourself. So, hey, all I'm gonna say is if that offensive line can protect, give him time to survey that defense, he is more than capable of going in there and shocking folks. You know what I'm saying? And y'all can, mark it down right here that I said that. I'm gonna still go with Savannah Christian. But when you have an elite, and I will continue to say this, when you have an elite quarterback, when you have the dude or a dude at that quarterback spot, look the hell out. And I'm telling you, they got it at North Cobb Christian, man, with Teddy Gerard. So play with it if you want to. Look out. That's all I'm going to say. I'm still going with Savannah Christian, but when you got a guy, yeah, you got a shot.
Nah, for sure. No, if they win this matchup, I'm going to need the whole student body not to call him Teddy Gerard, but call him Teddy Pendergrass. He's smooth. You know what I mean? But last week they beat Historically, program was known for winning. Whitfield Academy blew them out 40-6. I know this is probably a down year for Whitfield Academy, but nonetheless, they have been formidable per the records. But we will move on to Prince Ave versus Calvary Day. Calvary Day is the home school of Mr. Blackshear, who's committed to East. Blackshear still committed to Georgia, right? It's a lot of
I haven't
flips.
heard nothing new.
All right, still committed to UGA. That's going to be a big one. We know Prince Ave's got Ben Muser, running back Andrew Beard, name always escapes my mind. I think it's just Prince Ave's game to lose. Calvary Day, I know. I like the quarterback as well. He's a smaller quarterback, but he can sling that rock. I remember seeing him in Georgia State. But, brother, what do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be an emotional game for Calvary Day. The quarterback is going to step down at the end of the year. He's retiring. So what? I don't know, man, that emotional edge. Yeah, head coach Mark Stroud.
Oh, he's the quarterback.
Stepping down. Coach. So it's going to be interesting. They might play with a little bit of different edge. You look at Prince Ave and in the kind of buildup of their group, everybody's coming back, right? Hudson Hill, CJ Dockery, Beard, Muser. Right. Only guy they're really losing is a couple guys up front. They'll lose Christian Garrett, obviously, who's going off the Tech. But a lot of the guys that return, also they senior linebackers having a great year as well. They'll lose. But I don't know, man. I like Prince Ave. I like Coach Vandegrift. He's one of the best coaches as well. It's just tough, man. I mean, playing the Calvary Day team, but they got so much on the line. They want to win this for their coach.
So you're taking Prince Ave.
I'm gonna go Prince Ave.
All right, but I think you made the right decision here, man. Man, what is we're gonna go to Hebron Christian versus St. Aquinas. I think that's where Bo Walker goes to school, but I'm trying to
Raven Gap.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Yes. I mean, I'm now finding out that news. Aquinas is very talented. They got an offensive lineman, Danny, who goes out there. I wish I knew his last name, but Danny, if you inquire about Danny at Aquinas, they will know what you're talking about. Man, I really like Hebron, man. I think Aquinas is more formidable, but I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and pick Hebron, a close victory by a score or field goal.
No, that's a good pick, man. I mean, Aquinas is having a good year. Big win for them. Their quarterback, Jim Franklin's having a good year. Nearly 2,000 yards passing, 16 touchdowns for him. They can run it as well. Franklin is heavily involved in the running game, leads them in rushing with 681 yards. They got Rose on the outside with 964 yards, receiving 11 touchdowns. But they're facing a really good defense, man, with Hebron Christian, with Carrington Coombs, Seekin John, Garrett Kemp. They got guys all over the field, man. So I would put the edge to Hebron Christian with just the fact that their offense is struggling, which is rare. It's not really common with Thomas Stallworth and Devon Caldwell, but their defense can make stops when they need it the most. So I'm going to go with Hebron.
Okay. I don't feel out of place anymore. Last team in the bunch, Wesleyan versus Fellowship Christian.
I'm gonna go Fellowship. Really good team. I love their program. I love the AD David Laurie. Shout out to him for all and helping me out and everything, man. With some of they big time guys allowing me to be there. Evan Haynes, Josh Petty, CJ Givers, who's a really dynamic running back we have here in the state. No one talks about enough. They got dudes all over the field, man. That's a really good team. And I'm gonna go with Fellowship. I like Wesleyan. I like Ben Brown, what he's doing this year. Another quarterback that slept on, that's having a phenomenal year. But I give the edge to Fellowship.
I can concur. So, I mean, now that I haven't seen any comments pop up that are our GHSA football moment there. So, I'm saying by the docket, because I've been looking at these brackets, man. Where are we going next, my friend?
All right, man. For the ones that's tuned in, man, let's turn y'all up, man. It's time to turn y'all up. Let's talk about some Georgia Tech football, man. That's all we got for the high school. Those are the quarterfinal matchups. We didn't hit Class A 1 and Class A Division 2. But if y'all want us to hit that next time, y'all let us know. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back next week, same time, right? 7:15, same time. But let's go ahead and talk about some Tech Georgia, which a lot of y'all Georgia Tech fans came for. All right, this is a big game. I think too, what's important is that for Tech, they are going to have they got to decide what they're going to do as far as Philo, if he's going to be able to get that red shirt or not. It's a key game. I think Key said in a press conference, though, they decided that at the end of the year. So it's a little bit going on there But I think it just comes down to when we look at this Tech matchup, and let me go ahead and pull up a graphic so the artists can see via GT. You know what I'm saying? So
Awesome, man.
y'all just have to see our faces. You know what I'm saying?
If Miss Nancy's watching, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all, all the love y'all show to us, and tell all your other friends to tap in too.
Buddy, they are tapped in. Trust me. Miss Nancy is doing it. You know what I'm saying? But as you guys see, this is the game graphic via GT Football, Georgia Tech Football. Make sure y'all follow them as well. Make sure y'all follow us because we cover them well on Sports Illustrated. But yeah, shout out to all the fans, man. We love y'all. We appreciate all the support. We're gonna keep giving y'all this dope content on your Yellow Jackets. They continue to make a good push, man, and they're gonna have an elite team next year. Y'all see what y'all want. Ask Bacon, before we actually talk about this matchup, ask Bacon, how high have I been on Georgia Tech and for how long?
I'm like, Nas been talking about Tech like a wino talks about liquor. You know what I'm saying? He's drunk. He's like 2 years ago. He said, man, you know, Georgia Tech, they're on the rise. I said, I know they got some things going on. I said, because in my mind, I have, you know what I'm saying, haven't been tapping to Tech football really until last year and this year. I said, but I still running triple option now, man. No disrespect. But now I'm woke. I'm here now. I understand we got a lot of good things going. We got Coach Key at the helm, calling plays. You know what I'm saying? We got Coach Santucci up there running things on the defensive side. We got Coach Peoples and Coach Pope. They're heavy in the trenches. I was at their desk and I seen a lot of good things I like to see, other than the Sage, Coach. But no, I mean, now I've just been a hound on the Yellow Jackets for a while now, and it's safe to say that I put both my feet on the other side of that line. And I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
Hey, there you go. There you have it. So as y'all know, man, I've been high on them for a minute, man, and I'm still high on them. And I think next year they take the big step to that elite conversation as a program. And y'all call me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, you just a fanboy. I'm not. I am a Miami fan at heart. Okay. I just knew they was gonna lose to Tech. Tech just has the makers to make you upset. All right. But they're gonna be an elite program next year. Say what you want to argue with your mama. I'm just telling y'all they're gonna be an elite program next year. But in this matchup, and we was talking about Aaron Philo and his health, not Philo, but Haynes King, and if Philo would play or not. So he's getting better and better from what I've heard with Haynes King, but it matters how effective he can be because you're not going to beat Georgia with him being one-dimensional and only being able to run the ball. Now, he's great at it, but you cannot do that every play. How good is his arm? He has the AC shoulder joint sprain. Can he throw? I'm not sure. I haven't been to the practices this week because I've been working my main job, but that's the key. And then if you run a 2 QB system, can Philo continue to be effective throwing the ball? He has been. He's been making big plays, and he showed you that he could run the ball as well. Obviously, with those 2 big runs at the end of the game. But that's one of my keys for I throw it to you, Bacon, looking at this game. They got to make sure that they are able to throw that ball because you got to have big plays against Georgia. Georgia is top like 20 in like multiple categories: scoring defense, third down conversion percentage. This is a top-ranked team. Now, again, I know Georgia fans will say, well, look, we look terrible against UMass. I understand. I get it. But, bro, at the same time, you know what I'm saying, this is still a top unit. That was an aberration to me. I mean, they ran for 220-plus yards, you know what I'm saying, against Georgia. That's not common, you know what I'm saying? But this is a really good defense.
Yes, that's a really good defense. Michael Williams, big time part. We talked about Columbia's earlier. He's been banged up, but you know, this is a rivalry game that's going to invoke different type of emotions. Malachi Stark, who we see him kind of playing more towards the line, really embodying that star position, not just playing back there in safety. We're seeing a lot of 17 and the freshman, true freshman KJ Bolden making some plays back there. Linebacker, excuse me, y'all, Jalon Walker. He's been nothing shit, big time man at the linebacker position. I believe he's got like 3 sacks, 3.5 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Is it third in team in tackles, something like that. So this is going to be a formidable defense that Tech's going to see. But I think Tech's got the offensive prowess to make some noise if not win this game. If it's me, I let Philo. I keep the same type of system. If Haynes King can come in and keep Georgia on their toes, not just providing rushing attempts, but, you know, dropping a couple of 15-yard, 20-yard little outs, you know what I'm saying, little post patterns, running a little RPO here and there with Jamal. I know Jamal's banged up, but it's all hands on deck during hate week, and everybody's on the same page. For me, the question is with along with the quarterback question mark is going to be Man, it's gonna be honestly, maybe the defensive line. Even though the defensive line played phenomenal last week, and I think we can, if they can continue to bat down balls as it did so well last week, that's gonna and really frustrate Carson Beck. We get Carson Beck kind of riled up, man. Get him laughing on the sideline, giggling, kicking. I think we'll be fine. But that's my soliloquy. What you think, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you, and got some comments here. I appreciate y'all tuning into the YouTube, man. Make sure y'all continue to drop them comments. We'll say actually drop some questions as well, for us, please. But no, I mean, I agree. They're gonna have to find a way. But the thing is, with Carson Beck, he's been playing some of his best football lately. Like, go look at the Tennessee game. Go look at the last one against UMass. You can say what you want about competition, but he's starting to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And he's Carson Beck is playing like the Carson Beck we thought he was going to be coming into the season. Taking care of the football, making big time throws, finding his receivers, Arian Smith, Dylan Bell, Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky, and all those guys, and he's converting and they're running the ball well. Shout out to another undercard or wild card in this game is Nate Frazier. He's coming on and he's playing really good. Had one of his best games, over 120 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. When my Georgia Tech articles drop on Thanksgiving, he's one of the guys that I mentioned. You got to, find a way to slow him down. And he's becoming a more featured part of that Georgia offense, especially with the injury to Trevor Etienne, who was supposed to be the lead guy for them. You know what I'm saying? So he's one to watch for as well. But yeah, can you rattle Beck? Can Romello Height be a game wrecker? You know what I'm saying? He's shown that the last few weeks. That's why I asked Coach Key that question. He was like, well, what do you think? How do you think he's been playing? What do you think I'm going to say? And that's why I asked him, because I think he's the one that's been playing really elite over the past few weeks, and had that strip sack fumble against Miami, recovered by Jordan Vandenberg, that set up that first down run or first down. I guess you could say receiving, whatever you want to say, rush, catch, whatever from Eric Singleton Jr. that ended the game. But that was because of Romello Height. Same thing last week. Offense struggling most of the game. What does Romello Height do? He, like I said in this press conference, he read that B gap where he was going to be at and try to throw it, and he jumped it and then went and tried to score. Next thing you know, Haynes King's running in for a touchdown. So can Romello Height continue to take them steps forward? Because they're going to have to create pressure. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, Santucci's doing a great job. The secondary's been pretty good. I know it's been patchwork a little bit with injuries, you know what I'm saying? But they're doing a hell of a job, you know what I'm saying? But they got to get pressure. You got to help out those DBs, the Amari Harveys of the world. You got to help him out, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to help out, Rodney Shelley or Lamaz Brooks, whoever it might be, Clayton Powell-Lee, who's playing really well. Bacon, no one's talking about 8 tackles in the last one and led them. That stuff is going to be important, you know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see, though. But like you said, to your point, Bacon, they got to get pressure on Beck and make him turn over the ball.
Nah, facts. I wanted to see more from Oscar Delp, only 3 touchdowns on the season, but that's not the reason why I wanted to bring that up. But I really want to ask you about Amari, man. It's every time I see him play, it's big pass deflections, deep downfield, having to run. I feel like, man, I'm not gonna say he's cream of the crop in terms of upper echelon of DBs, but he ain't far off, brother.
I think he's right there. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's one of the best DBs in the game, but I would say when you look at ACC and you're looking at some of the top cover corners, he deserves to be in that conversation. I really think so. But what the performance he's having this year, I think he's like 4th or 5th in tackles this year. He wraps up really well. He's not the biggest guy, but he covers very well. He's not too handsy. He's physical at the top of the route and knows how to play the football. And that was another reason why I had took Georgia Tech to actually beat Miami, is because him being there, and then Warren Burrell ended up being injured. He's missed the last few weeks. But both of those guys have done a stellar job on the back end for Coach Peoples in that defensive back room when you look at what they can do. So when you have that, you like how you feel. Now, they're playing elite guys. And now we haven't talked about it, but Powell-Lee is another one. Now, I know you're saying motivated, dedicated. We're going to bring you in here. You're saying nobody can run with Arian Smith. Look, they faced Xavier Restrepo. That's one of the best receivers. Yep. Regardless of conference, okay? They faced some elite guys, and they've held their own. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to watch for as well. Now, no disrespect to Georgia. Georgia got a lot of good receivers, but they're not elite. They're not the receivers that Tech has faced this year. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have no George Pickens, no A.J. Green. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they're that worried. Now, Arian Smith can fly. I will give you that. You know what I'm saying? Dylan Bell, boys can play. But they're not striking fear in that secondary.
I agree.
You know what I'm
Let's see
saying?
if the questions go.
That's the comment I was addressing. Nobody in secondary can run with Arian Smith. We appreciate you tuning in as well, brother. And this is his score prediction. Tech loses by 17. Said first quarter might be close. I'm gonna let you respond to this, Bacon. Now, this is the reason why I told you about these two boys. When you asked me, he's like, who should watch out for Georgia? Jalen Walker is the real deal, bro. Like, that dude can play. Him and Michael's been in and out. But hey, you want a game? You want to know about this Georgia team? Go watch Texas. Go watch Michael Williams and go watch Jalen Walker. And you'll see why both of those guys are NFL prospects. Go watch that game. You know what I'm saying? But Baylor's supposed to be back healthy. Got Robinson. So we'll see how healthy they'll be there. But what's your response to some of his comments?
31-14. 31-14. The only 31-14. The only reason why I see some validity in the 14 is because Haynes King isn't all the way healthy and he hasn't played the whole season. So, but Philo is big time. He has an arm. He's got an arm that can really stretch that Georgia defense. I know they got some talented safeties, DBs, I mean they got some good DBs. Let me not say can he make those touch passes as those intermediate and keep them honest? I understand Williams and Walker, but Georgia Tech's offensive line is pretty damn good, man. One, if not the best offensive line in the ACC. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a test against those boys. But Georgia Tech defensive line isn't a slouch either. Romello Height, Vanderberg, you know what I'm saying? Number 32 on the other end. I have struggled with it. I have struggled with his last name, but he really impressed me last week and has impressed me in multiple games. What'd you say, brother?
My bad. I was saying Sylvan Youngjuan.
Sylvan Youngjuan.
Yeah, Sylvan Youngjuan.
Another NFL prospect to me. I'm not sure if he's on the NFL draft boards, but I think he can play at the next level. So 31-14. I don't think so. I think I think Tech's going to win. I think they're going to win. Let me put my score prediction out here. Jackson, if you're watching, you can just clip this up and not have to text me. Just fuck. I'll say, what would I say, man? Man, I think it's going to be probably a mid-score game. Probably like 20. I'm going to say 30, 33, 32, 28, 25, somewhere around in there. That's the type of game. It's going to be similar to last year. So, I mean, I think Tech checks all those boxes. They embody Coach Key as a head coach with just physical, gritty. And, I know Coach Kirby is the same thing, physical, gritty. He's going to be in that lab probably all day tomorrow, all day Thanksgiving. He probably going to be at home. He's going to be at his office watching film, getting prepared. Man, that's just the type of guy Kirby is, real dedicated to his craft. But I mean, those are all formidable comments, sir. It looked like you're a Marine, so I say thank you for your service. But this is why we tighten up our chin strap, put in our mouthpiece, and put our cleat on one foot at a time.
Very true. Another update too for Georgia. I'm sure y'all noticed, especially if you're following Brooks Austin. But Kobe Young is back. He's just returned to practice. So that is a major update here from Brooks Austin. One of the better reporters here in the state, as far as when it comes to covering UGA football. Him, Ratty, or what he's able to do. Jeremy Johnson, obviously, and Dawes HQ and everything that they're able to do. Bruce Recruiting, and several others. Dog Nation's another one. But yeah, he will be back as well for Georgia in that matchup. So I did want to point that out.
100%.
Sir, but do you have any more keys, as we have a big audience watching, any more keys to that matchup between Georgia and Georgia Tech that you want to hit on?
I think another key is probably just going to be Jamal Haynes. How much can he give? If he can give 80 yards or more, I like Tech. That's my X factor, Jamal Haynes. The receivers are going to do what they do. And so I think, to me, is if they can run the ball efficiently. So you can book it. Jamal gets 85 or more yards. You can pencil in Tech for the dub. Put it on your parlays. You provide the picks if you're a sports gambler. I don't. But if you do, you can take my word for it.
I will say too, Bacon, usually like when he's running really well and just as a team, when they like hit that over 150 or close to 200 yards, they're practically unbeatable. Like, and that's what it's been this year for Tech. Like when they can run that rock, they just tough to beat, man, because then they control the game. You know what I'm saying? They can beat up on you and then they just, they take over. So that's been another key point. And also, a lot of people don't notice another key stat for Tech. They're giving up the second least sacks in the NCAA, only 5 this year. So that just talks about the offensive line. Sometimes it's not the best in run blocking and things like that, but when they running that rock and they over 100 plus and 150, they tough to beat.
Facts. In addition to that, man, I've never been to a UGA game, and especially when they play Tech. But Tech fans, y'all can pack that out as much as y'all can. I know Georgia fans, they probably been sitting on their tickets since last year. But if y'all can really show up and make the Yellow Jackets feel at home, away from home, then and kind of rattle Carson Beck. Y'all rattle Carson Beck? Bucket. With Jamal ain't gotta have 85, bro. Give me a cool 50, we out of there.
100%, man. But yeah, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Over 500 plus viewers, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Honestly, and watching this Georgia Tech Georgia preview, man. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of good comments in here. Thank you, Motivated, Dedicated, also for tuning in. I think you're probably easily a Georgia fan, so we appreciate you, brother. We don't have no hatred. I know it's clean old fashioned hate, but we don't have no hatred for Georgia fans, man. It's all love at the end of the day, man. We just appreciate you tuning in and supporting. So definitely means a lot, man. But anything else you want to hit far as Georgia Tech? And I know we're going to talk just a little bit about hoops before we get out of here.
Nah, that's all I got, man.
All right, man. So we got some major hoop news, man. I'm gonna turn it over to Bacon. He's kind of the hoops guru in here. I do know a little bit. I know enough to hold my own. I know enough about Tech and what they got going on. But what were some major results, man? UConn drops their second game. They lost to Colorado today, 73-72. Coach Hurley the last few days has been pissed. Not liking the officiating, not liking the non-calls. They're struggling. I think it's because they're kind of a younger team. I think this team is going to go through some woes this year. And it could be, no disrespect, it could be unranked a little bit for some time and then get back into it. I just think they're going to go through a little bit of things while they try to figure it out. But Kentucky's looking formidable. Kansas looks formidable. Gonzaga, Auburn looked good, had that tip in at the end of the game by their outstanding big man. And he's looked good. But what's just your thoughts? Brooms, yep, just Broom. You know what I'm saying? He's having a good year. But what's your thoughts so far?
Yeah, man. You said UConn, man. I mean, sirens went on to me when they lost. I mean, shout out to Coach Penny at Memphis. You know what I'm saying? He's been building a program there through his ups and downs or whatever you want to say. He's been doing his thing. But, you know, just like how a team come off a Super Bowl, World Series, and NBA championship, got a little hangover. You know what I'm saying? They face a little competition, they get a little gunshot. You know what I'm saying? They'll be okay. You know, coaches, he's won 2 back-to-back. He's gonna be hard on those guys. That's his coaching style. He's gonna let those guys know when they're doing right. When they're doing wrong, he's gonna love them when they're right. So I mean, I really wouldn't take too much in this. It's a long season. Being a Coach Cal supporter, I don't really take too much stock into early losses. So I think they'll be fine. Auburn, I didn't expect them to shoot up the rankings this fast, but they have played some good basketball. The win over Iowa State was monumental for them, as well as Houston in the beginning of the year, but mainly Iowa State. You know, Broom, I believe he's a 5th-year senior coming back because he wants to get that championship. Kudos to him. But I think Thad Pittford is a guy, you know what I'm saying, we definitely need to keep a keen eye on. Came off the bench that game against Iowa State, added 14 points, 18 points to Chad Baker Mazzara. I believe he's a transfer. Miles Kelly, former Georgia Tech player. 2 for 9 from 3. He specializes in threes, so 2 for 9. Want to see an uptick in that category. But 5 for 13 is nothing to scoff at. And this team's going to grit it out. They're going to rebound under Coach Bruce Pearl. Tennessee, I like what Tennessee's doing, but I'll go on the record and say this. I think Alabama, when they get everything figured out, you got to think up for them. I'm on ESPN. I appreciate that, man.
Of course, brother.
I think Alabama is the deepest team in all college basketball. I like Kansas. Don't get me wrong. I really like the scorer, I believe, the number 1 player out of either JUCO or the D2. I can't remember right now, but I like him. But Alabama, once that guard heavy, they got from Paul VI guard from Alabama, LeBaron Philon. You got Stroud, who haven't even touched the floor yet. League guard from last year. Aiden, I can't remember his last name. Big man. Aiden Sheard. Yeah, Aiden Sheard.
Really good.
Been playing really good minutes off the bench. I mean, I really like Alabama is my favorite right now. I know UConn and everybody, and Duke. I saw your TikTok earlier, brother. You know what I'm saying? Why is Duke at 11?
Yeah, come on, bro. They lost to freaking Kentucky. Like, bro, what are we doing? Like, they've looked good all year, and then you got Arizona ranked there 2-2. They lost to Wisconsin and Duke. Come on, bro. What is we doing, bro? Yes, I had to react to that. Now, like I said, I'm still getting familiarized with the team, so I ain't make that TikTok too long because, again, I don't want to give information and react to stuff, and I ain't got my full quartet of knowing what I'm talking about. But, bro, I've seen Duke play twice this year. Come on, bro. Duke is a top team in the country. What are we doing?
Yes.
Hello? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a good basketball team, man. So I don't agree with that. UConn's going to fall a lot next week. It's a lot of primetime matchups. Like as we talked about, Auburn beat Iowa State with Brooms tipping last night. Came back from 18 down in that one. Big win for them. And then right now you got Houston playing Bama. And then you got Duke is going to play Kansas. So that is all tonight, brother. So if you want some good hoops. Oh, no, not Kansas. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
No, I was right. Okay, yeah, Duke played Kansas at 9, and then you got another barn burner at 11. I might have to stay up for that. You got Auburn versus UNC. Hey, let me get my popcorn ready. And it's crazy because Dayton was whooping UNC, and UNC came back and won 92-90. So, hey, man, we got some peak college basketball content, man. So y'all boys stay tuned.
Matter of fact, man, I got to shout out. Let me get his name first. Dayton's got a young man from Georgia. If you can remember his name, help me out now so I don't look like a fool scrolling. Oh, Juwan Simon. Simon, man, freshman. You know what I'm saying? Average 1.5 1.5 rebounds. Is a name to know, man. Was killing, had the hoop scene in Georgia really nationally set on fire. Juwan Simon, 6'6" wing, Mableton, Georgia. He can play with Game Elite. He's the truth.
Yes, he is, brother.
I also shot Baylor. Baylor's also a team to watch. BJ Edgecombe is a monster. I think. Well, I know he's a lottery, and the brother may go. I say top 5. I think top 3 is very generous, but top 5, I don't think that's anything to turn your nose up at. BJ Edgecombe is elite, man. If you catch him out, get his autograph. What's up, kids?
Yes, sir. Any concerns with Rutgers losing to Kennesaw State? Big win for them. Braden Liu, former kind of Georgia standout for Alexander, playing really good ball. Just some results from the weekend. Any pause the cause for Rutgers losing that to Kennesaw State?
I would say yes. I'll say yes. Rutgers. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Kennesaw State. They got a good team. I like Simeon Cottle and Braden Liu, who was very big. They held Ace Bailey only had 1 rebound. I mean, that just tells you all you need to know. Kennesaw State is very fundamental. They're going to box you out. They're a gritty team. Harper, he led the Scarlet Trojans. Not Scarlet Trojans. We're just gonna say Rutgers right now. He led them in scoring. I think for this team to go right, Ace Bailey's gonna have to be. He's gonna have to be that leading scorer most games. Not taking anything away from Dylan, but when Ace Bailey's going, I just think it opens everything up. I think when Harper's running the offensive show, it makes it more of a traditional. And for them to be spectacular, how they need to be, Ace Bailey's gonna have to be that front man. And I also say this, man, he was back home. He's back home in a packed environment. Probably seen some familiar faces in the stands. Nerves probably got to him a little bit. I'm gonna go out here and go for 30. And boy had 15 18 points with 1 rebound, man. But that's just what comes along when you're a freshman playing big time college basketball. It just happened to be a lower major D1. So I don't think it's something to be concerned about, but it's nothing to write them off about. They'll be back in the top 25. Just hopefully they can get things back in the grasp and they don't sputter out of control.
100%. I definitely agree with that, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. Some big hoop news updates. Naismith Classic was this past weekend. Caleb Wilson balled out, fell short a little bit. Chandler Bing went off for 37 points. Eric Chapman dropped 24. Big time win for Pace. Pace was like the most well-rounded team. They could face off in the future. I think they are both 4A, I believe. I got to go back and look and make
Yeah.
sure. Or Holly Innocence might be that classic private. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I will research that. But that's going to be very fun. Really good matchup between those two. Ava Andrews for North Paul, and they beat the Marist girls. Kate Harpring in that one dropped 28 and 11. But man, I told you, man, North Paul got this girl, this Hendrickson that's really good, man. And they was able to pull out a win there. So I thought that was impressive. Wheeler handled Gainesville 66-50. Big win for them. Coda Sutter was the best graded defensive player on the court that day. They had Coben Landrew drop, I think, 18 in that one. Kevin Savage had 16, so great win for them. Tallis, I think, had 17, so big time win for them in the Naismith Classic. You got Jared Cook Classic as well. Milton and Grayson, I think, squared off last night as well. So a whole bunch of big time events going on, man, and some great hoops. And Caleb Wilson just looked the real deal. Looked like he just still a candy from a baby out there, man, when you're on the court.
Man, Caleb Wilson is the truth, brother. Man, he's like you said, it may look rare easy, brother. Moving them kids out the way. You can just tell when a kid gets around 17, they get to playing at EYBL over and over and over again, man, or just at any elite level circuit. But when they get their body behind them, and the kids who don't play that up tempo high skill basketball game, it shows. And you know what I'm saying, just start with fishes.
100%, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what I got, brother. But do you think Wheeler seeing him this week, Coben Landrew, obviously, you think they got a chance to beat Grayson?
They got a shot. They don't play this year too. I think pretty soon. Talk to my boy Coda. I'm gonna try to go. Like, that's a marquee matchup, man. Like, they got all the pieces. I think the question last year, like, they had some good players. They had Ricky. They had obviously the big men with the Arkansas State, but they didn't have like an elite scorer. They got a couple of those guys, man. Kevin can fill it up. Tallis, when he's on, and he's difficult to stop in the paint. Coben, you know what I'm saying? And then you just got a quintessential point guard that's a two-way stud. Like, when you look at what Coda can do, like, dude is bigger, elite, got taller. Like, they got a squad, man. So, Grayson is incredible. I think he like 6'1". No, I think he like 6'2" now. You know what I'm saying? He's grown, especially when I see him at EYBL circuit, I believe it was. But yeah, man, like, they got some dudes, man. So I'm going to say they're going to compete for sure. Beating them, we'll see, because that's tough, but competing for sure.
All right. And I also talk about got a chance to see Jalen Wingfield Tech target. Just nothing. I mean, just a monster, brother. He's a junior, rising junior, was sophomore last year. He can do it all. I mean, I don't know if it's just he's playing that system. High school system could be different on the circuit, but he likes that post shot, little post phase. Got that real active on the defensive end. He's got that dog in him. Snatched the ball away from one of the offensive players from East Coweta. But I believe he had 17 points. Probably had 3 blocks, a steal, and until a hammer and a rebound. So I take fans. If we can pull that off, if Coach Damon can pull that off, man, that's gonna be monumental for this program as they continue to trend upward. We know we're struggling right now. We just got waxed by Cincinnati. But hold faith, keep going to the McCammons Pavilion, cheering those guys on, and get those season tickets early. Because if you don't, you're gonna have to throw in a couple hundred. Not gonna lie to you, extra. And please read all about it on SI All Yellow Jackets.
100%. Yeah. Real quick, an ugly loss to Cincinnati, man. Not too much you can say. They're probably gonna be one of the top teams in the country. They're gonna definitely be in contention for their conference championship. But when it comes to Tech, it's just figuring out defensively what you can do. The switches is hurting them this year, and we got to be honest. Bain Ndongo has regressed. Like, he was supposed to be one of the top players coming in. He's regressed this year. He's having a hard time with the pick and rolls and staying attached and then not playing it the right way. So that's hurting them. And at points in the season, they're struggling scoring in some spaces. Now, they got a lot of good scores, but some of it they are struggling. So I think it's going to take some time. A lot of transfers coming in, new lineup. Everybody got to learn to mesh and know their roles. So it's going to take some time, but we will see. I wouldn't give up hope just yet.
Right. No, I agree. Lance Terry kind of struggled 2 for 11. And that's kind of that spark you need off the bench. You think it's You think it's time to throw him into the starting lineup every so often to see if we get a little spark?
100%. And then the Kawhi Reeves just has to be more aggressive too. You know what I'm saying? With his touches and going to the rim and creating contact. But yeah, Lance Terry should definitely be at least getting a couple touches in there and getting into the starting lineup for sure.
100%, man. I agree with you. The ladies have been more spectacular for the Yellow Jackets thus far into the season, man.
Just upset Oregon.
Just upset Oregon. I did not know that, brother. Go ahead and enlighten us.
Yeah, they just beat Oregon. They won the I think it's Tournament of Champions. I think I gotta re-get the name, but I did see an alert across. They did beat a pretty good Oregon team. Went I think undefeated in that tournament, and they're making some noise, man. They look like the real deal. They're meshing well, and they're really having a good season, man. So Tech girls, hey man, I know the boys ain't playing too well, but the girls ain't playing.
No, you're right. Freshman.
Yep, Daniel Carnegie. She's having a good year.
Having a sensational year, probably freshman of the year. Zoisha Smith has been doing her thing. Tony Morgan, I like her game as well. Will we see the other freshmen come off the bench? Got a comment here. If King can throw, it's close. If Philo is the only quarterback, then it could get ugly if we can't protect them. 100%. I agree with you, man. If King can throw, it's definitely close. That's gonna be something, especially they run a double quarterback set, and they don't know what's gonna happen. That's gonna force that Georgia defense probably to play more at home instead of sell out to, I guess, pin their ears back more, run more. I know I was talking to Najeh earlier. They run more of a multiple type of defense. They send like a little cover 3 blitz, mixing a little man blitz, man here there. But I think it's gonna make them the DBs linebackers more at home with their reads. So definitely, but I think the offensive line is gonna do. I know they had some low moments early on in the season, but I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be decent. Yeah.
100%. Appreciate you tuning in. That's G-Ton Top 88. We appreciate you, man. Some more major news tomorrow too, so make sure you stay tuned. That's all I will say. But major news is coming tomorrow for the Yellow Jackets. Stay tapped in. That's all I will say.
I like that, brother. So like you said, the Lady Jackets undefeated at 6-0. Beating the ranked Oregon Ducks who are 21th in the nation. They won't see their next ranked opponent till December. Near Christmas time, they will be in Chapel Hill playing the Tar Heels, and then two games after that. Nebraska is still in it. They're top 25 right now at 25. They'll see them, but I like the girls, man. I think they're definitely a tournament team. Obviously 6-0. I just like they got a good bunch. Good mix of girls, you know what I'm saying? They can shoot, they can rebound, and they got a freshman who's going to take some pressure off the upperclassmen to score the basketball. So they check our boxes for me.
100%, man. But yeah, man, let's make it something else. And this is a good comment here. Thank you, G-Ton Top 88. Thanks for y'all. Keep up the good work. We appreciate it, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to the network. Y'all stay tuned to Najee Work on all platforms, man. We have great news. But unless you got something else, Bacon, I think that's going to wrap us up.
I mean, we did not talk about the elephant in the college football world of Travis Hunter not being nominated for the Jim Thorpe Award, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, Travis is getting a little bit of slight. Everybody's talking about the Heisman. They say, oh, it's a popularity contest. Look, man, what he's doing is special. Y'all looking at rankings. This kid plays both sides of the ball for darn near every snap. He definitely deserves to be in the Jim Thorpe conversation. Even Deion made a comment about it. I understand. I know it's Colorado. I know y'all feel like they talk a lot and the persona that they have, but the kid is special. We have not seen that in college football. A couple snaps here and there, but every single play, look, man, he deserves his flowers. That's why, like I said, it's going to be important for them to win. College rankings just came out. I'll do a reaction video here in a second, but Colorado is now 25. So they're going to have to get some help, try to get into the tournament. That's his best chance, I think, to try to get in that conversation. But I think it's unfortunate for him that he did not get in that finalist conversation. Definitely deserves it. But I don't know what they were thinking.
Nah, you're right, brother. I think Deion, our good friend Duke Scoop said it best, man. Shout out to Duke for everything he's doing, man. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. But are we surprised? A little bit. But with that being said, I mean, I don't have anything, brother. I seen some trending things by Dame, but I didn't click on it. But I said we can wrap up, man. I think we get people think we gave him a good show today.
I think we did too. Last one, and we out of here. Any thoughts on what Dabo said about revenue sharing? Will most powerful teams have the same money to distribute? Did not see what Dabo said today, unfortunately, but I will look it up for you, my friend, for being a loyal supporter and see what he said on revenue sharing. But I'll tell you what, man, Clemson better get it together because they're losing recruits, and I'm not saying you got to pay them what's his name just made, what Bryce Underwood just made, the 10 mil, but man, you got to at least try, dog. And it looks like he said nobody's going to have more money than Clemson. Nobody. A smiling Sweeney said of impending revenue sharing for the first time ever. Gosh, no, I don't want to sign up. Hold on, let me share the article with y'all. And this how
Sounds like if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, but the thing, like, I like Dabo, but bro, you should have did this, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You sitting there falling behind. Like, it's a great program, but come on, bro. Oh, that's not. Is that the right one?
College football playoff rankings.
I just had it. The hell?
Sorry,
here it is. No, I wasn't tripping. So here it is, y'all. It says nobody's going to have more money than Clemson. Nobody. Smiling Sweeney said of impending revenue sharing. First time ever, that'll be good. And obviously talks about Clemson's path forward. He pushed back on the notion he was against paying players in the past. Went viral in 2014 for his comments about professionalizing college football. Spoke positively about revenue sharing, which he believes would benefit the Tigers as the sports landscape continues to shift. Pending final approval of the House settlement, athletic departments can opt into sharing 22% of revenue with players as early as next year, which will come out to $20.5 million cap per school. We've always had the money at Clemson. We just haven't been able to share it, Sweeney said, and now we can. So to your comment, I think it's very intriguing. And it's good. Like, Clemson needs this. No disrespect. Like, they are a very prominent college and organization, and it's good that Dabo said that. Now it's just distributed. So now you're going to get a $20 million market cap, might as well say, and you're just not going to be able to put hella in one position. Like, you've seen what the top quarterback just went for. Now, I don't think Clemson is going to do that, but nonetheless, you're going to have to pick and choose guys. You might have to get a quarterback on $1 million, $2 million salary and build the rest of your team. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough, but I think it's going to help them because then you can tell these guys, okay, hey, we're going to bring you in. This is what we're going to give you, instead of, okay, we don't do NIL at all. We don't believe in revenue sharing at all. And we're just going to develop players, and it is what it is. You're hurting your product. You're hurting your team. Now, they've had a good year this year. They lost a head scratcher to Louisville, obviously, and lost to Georgia, but I think it's going to help their program. And it's good. I think it will be. I think it's going to depend, G-Ton top 88. It's going to depend on how much revenue those programs are coming in. I give you one more. I don't know if you're a Tech fan or not. I feel like you are, but I don't know if you are. That was one of the reasons why, you think about this, why Tech, and a lot of fans were against it. But that's the reason why they moved that game, the Clean Old Fashioned Hate, next year to the Dome. They're getting paid $10 million just to do that. That's where you start seeing the differences. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like that's, and I think he is a Tech fan because he said yes. That's when you start seeing the differences, though. You know what I'm saying? When you doing moves like that, you are trying to be competitive. You know what I'm saying? You are trying to put your team to win. And I think revenue sharing is going to help these programs because it's not going to only be NIL. NIL will be kind of a supplemental thing for them. And I think that revenue sharing will help them a lot. So then where that comes from, that revenue sharing, how many of you guys are attending the games, right? Mm-hmm. How much you're pouring into the athletic programs, you know what I'm saying? Are you donating to Full Steam Ahead in their initiative? Like, those are going to be the things where you start to see this program doing more and being able to share revenue across the board. So all that's going to kind of matter for programs. Will it be the same at everyone? No. You know what I'm saying? Most Power 4 will probably be around the same spectrum. Georgia's probably going to make more money. Bama is. Texas, when you look at the football landscape. Basketball, Kentucky's, the Dukes, the North Carolinas of the world, you're going to probably see. But those other programs that struggle a little bit, probably going to hurt a little bit. But you're going to have to convince some guys, and you might have to go into some 3-stars and other guys and convince them to come and then build it up. So it's going to be interesting.
Very thorough, brother. You even brought up what's the NIL initiative at Tech? You just said it.
Full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead. Yeah, that was big, bro. That was key. Very thorough. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man.
I appreciate it, brother, man. I appreciate you, man. But that's all we got. It looks like y'all loved it. Bacon, before we get out of here, can I tell you the numbers and the people tuning in? Brother, we are at 658. That is a lot. I did not expect that many on a Tuesday night. I appreciate all my 4,000 followers on X checking us out. Also, my YouTube subscribers as well. Man, y'all get me to a K. We're not that far off. Y'all get my man Bacon out there as well and getting him out there to 2K. You know what I'm saying? But we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Much love. 553 on my end on X, man. I think that's the most I've ever had. Bacon, you had 101. I had a couple on YouTube. And then Bacon, you had a couple on YouTube as well, man. So we appreciate it, man. If y'all want more of this content, y'all know what to do, man. Shoot us a DM, like, comment, subscribe, and get at us, man. We might make this a Tuesday show going forward. We already have one, obviously, but we might make this a Tuesday show going forward, talking all things Yellow Jackets, the transfer portal. You know what I'm saying? The players they're getting, the flips, everything, reacting. We might start doing that more if that's something you guys want to see. Again, we want to appeal and to appease to you guys because you guys help us out. So hope you guys like tuning in. And Bacon, I'll let you close this out.
Yeah, I mean, I bet before we go, ladies and gentlemen, if you see us out, thanks, fellas. The NIL thing hasn't been explained good enough. A lot of gray area. I agree. Definitely, money. There's a lot of like that 10 mil. They ain't coming straight from the Booster Club. I can tell you that, my friend. That's coming out of somebody's. That's coming out of somebody's check or whatever savings. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, Swiss bank account. But nonetheless, if you see us out at the game, and don't hesitate, come chop it up with us. You know what I'm saying? I may be vlogging, whatever. You know, hop in the vlog, say what's up. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to show y'all love. That's as much as y'all show us love. So thank y'all for tuning in. This is Games Free Podcast, man. And enjoy your holidays with your loved ones, man, because you never know when it's the last time you will have it, man. So thank y'all for tuning in, man. Peace and blessings to everybody. Love y'all. And see y'all Friday, man. Go Jackets.
Happy Thanksgiving, man. Stay tuned in, G-Ton Top. I'm about to drop something on the channel, man. So y'all stay tuned. I'm about to drop the vid and I'm about to drop some big news. So stay tuned. Peace.